The morning after Election Day, voters overwhelmingly approved a series of measures directly aimed at the war on drugs, which included the legalization of marijuana in New Jersey, Arizona, and Montana, the decriminalization of psychedelic mushrooms in Washington, D.C., and the decriminalization of hard drugs such as cocaine and heroin in Oregon, after voters supported Measure 110 with over 60% of voters in favor. Now, Oregon residents can no longer be arrested nor imprisoned for possession of a small amount of hard substances such as heroin, cocaine, methamphetamine, LSD, and MDMA. Janie Gullickson, the executive director of the Mental Health and Addiction Association in Oregon, explains her views about Measure 110 and the purpose behind it.
What it does is address it the way it should be in a public health approach and a healthcare-based approach, which has been far too long in coming. We have stigmatized and shamed and criminalized people who struggle with a health condition, which is addiction. I mean, the science is shared with, we know now that it is a disease and we should treat it as such. In the US, until now, we've seen it in other places where it has been very successful, places like Portugal, where treatment engagement rates have skyrocketed after the decriminalization. Changing the status quo is always scary, and I think that is it's a big step that Oregon voters took, and it's change is scary.
That still does not mean these substances are legal. All individuals caught with small amounts of hard substances are to be fined $100 and may have to take a part in an addiction treatment program funded in part by taxes from marijuana sales. Meredith Walker, a recovering addict, shares insight about what her life was like suffering with a drug addiction and how important it is to find help.
Jail doesn't do anything for people wanting to get clean. It's the streets with a uniform. That's all it is. And, they say addiction is the only thing that's stronger than motherhood. It led me to abandon my children, which led to self-hatred and shame, which led to more using. The thought of getting arrested did not stop me from continuing to use drugs, because I had a disease that compelled me to use drugs no matter what the consequences were. And I didn't need to be kept away from society and continue to have charges that would keep me from future employment and future housing. I needed somebody to pull me aside and say, like, you're worth it. We believe in you.
On the other hand, Josh Marcus, a district attorney, does not view Measure 110 under the same positive light.
It's not opening up new centers. It's not making available the two drugs that are used to wean people off heroin, methadone, and buprenorphine. There's nothing in this bill to do any of those things, or this law. It's basically just going, well, we're not going to deal with this anymore.